All right, so get this. China just unveiled their brand new bullet train prototype.
Oh, wow.
It's called the CR450, and
I saw this.
yeah, and in our deep dive today, we're gonna break down what this thing can do,
Amazing.
what it could mean for the future of travel.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at excerpts from an article.
Yeah.
It's called China's Next Gen Rail Prototype. Pretty straightforward.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the wow factor, right? Like a train that hits 450 kilometers an hour in testing.
Oh, yeah.
Which this thing can do, but
That's crazy.
I think what's really important here is to understand the why behind all this.
Yeah.
Why build a train that can go 280 miles an hour?
That's a really great point. So let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
What's the story behind this CR450 development?
Yeah. So back in 2021,
Okay.
they launched this thing called the CR450 Technology Innovation Project.
Okay.
It's they laid out a challenge for themselves, create a train.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just faster, but also safer, more eco-friendly, more energy efficient.
Wow.
And this prototype unveiled just a couple days ago in Beijing seems to be the answer.
Okay, so they have this vision of this super train,
Yeah.
and they built this prototype, but what makes the CR450 different from bullet trains we see today?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
First off, forget what you know about train speeds.
All right.
The CR450 is expected to operate at 400 kilometers an hour.
What?
Blows the current record holders out of the water.
Yeah.
But hold on, there's more.
Oh, God.
It's packed with over 4,000 sensors,
What?
constantly monitoring every single system.
Goodness.
It's almost like giving the train a nervous system.
4,000 sensors. It sounds like they're taking safety very seriously.
You bet they are.
Yeah.
Think about it at those speeds. Safety is absolutely critical.
Right.
They've developed a sophisticated multi-level emergency braking system and something called a high-stability bogie system.
Okay, I'm going to need a bit of help on that one. What exactly is a bogie system? And why is it important for a high-speed train?
Sure, imagine a set of wheels
Okay.
mounted to a frame underneath the train carriage.
Okay.
That's essentially a bogie.
Okay.
Now, in high-speed trains,
Uh-huh.
the bogie system is designed to minimize vibrations,
Okay.
maintain stability, especially when taking curves at high speeds.
Yeah.
The CR450 high-stability bogie system takes this to the next level,
Okay.
ensures a much smoother and safer ride,
Wow.
even at 400 kilometers per hour.
That's incredible. I never really thought about the engineering
Yeah,
that goes into keeping a train stable at those kinds of speeds.
that's wild.
So we've got the speed, the safety aspects covered. What else is there?
Well, they've clearly thought about your comfort, too.
Okay.
Larger cabins, expanded storage space.
Nice.
They've even designed it to accommodate bicycles and wheelchairs easily.
That's a fantastic detail. It makes high-speed travel more accessible and convenient for everyone.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting there fast. It's about making the entire journey a better experience.
For sure.
What about the technology behind all this? What kind of wizardry are they using to achieve these speeds?
Here's where it gets a little technical.
Okay.
They're using what's called water-cooled permanent magnet traction technology.
Okay.
Without getting too deep in the weeds,
Yeah.
it basically means a more efficient way of using electricity to power the train.
Gotcha.
Allows for higher speeds and less energy consumption.
So they're going faster and greener at the same time? That's impressive.
It is.
And how do we know all this actually works?
They haven't just thrown this together.
Okay.
They put the CR450 through rigorous testing, over 3,000 simulations, and 2,000 platform tests,
Wow.
to be exact.
Okay.
They want to be absolutely sure this thing performs reliably at these incredible speeds.
That's a serious commitment to safety and performance.
Absolutely.
So we got a sense of what this train is all about. Speed, safety, comfort,
Right.
and some seriously impressive technology.
Yeah.
But the big question is, what does it all mean?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's what we'll be diving into next.
Okay.
We'll be exploring how the CR450 might change the way we travel,
Right.
not just within China, but potentially across the globe.
Okay, I'm already on the edge of my seat, but before we jump into that, let's give our listener a moment to digest all this incredible information about the CR450 itself.
Good idea.
We'll be back in a flash to unpack the potential impact of this game-changing train.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about
Alright.
what the CR450 could mean for the future of travel.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
it's not just about the tech itself. It's about
Right.
how that tech can reshape the way we move,
Yeah.
the way we connect,
Yeah.
and even the way we think about distances,
You're right. This isn't just about like shaving a few minutes off a commute.
Yeah.
We're talking about a potential paradigm shift in transportation.
Absolutely.
So where do we even begin to unpack the potential impact of this train?
Well, let's start with the most obvious impact. Reduced travel times within China.
Okay.
Imagine zipping between Beijing and Shanghai, a journey that currently takes around 4.5 hours.
Wow.
On the fastest trains in just over 2 hours.
Wow. That's a significant time saving. What could that mean for people like living and working in those cities?
Think about it.
Yeah.
Commuting for work between major cities becomes much more feasible.
Yeah.
Business trips become shorter, more efficient.
Right.
And for tourists exploring different regions of China, becomes easier and more appealing.
Yeah.
It's like shrinking the country.
Yeah.
Making it feel more connected and accessible.
It's almost like bringing people closer together, both like physically and figuratively.
For sure.
But this technology could have implications far beyond China's borders, right?
Absolutely. One of the most exciting possibilities is like the potential for international high-speed rail lines.
Yeah.
Using this technology.
Wow.
Imagine a network connecting major cities across Europe and Asia, allowing you to travel from Paris to Beijing at speeds rivaling air travel.
That's a mind-blowing concept. But wouldn't creating such a vast network be incredibly complex?
For sure.
We're talking about crossing borders, navigating different political systems, coordinating massive infrastructure projects.
You're absolutely right. It wouldn't be easy. Building international high-speed rail lines would require unprecedented levels of cooperation and coordination between countries.
Wow.
You know, there'd be political hurdles to overcome, technical standards to harmonize, and of course the massive financial investment required.
So it's not just a matter of like laying down some tracks. There are geopolitical and economic factors to consider as well.
Definitely.
What about the potential impact on air travel? Could a high-speed rail actually compete with airlines?
That's a question a lot of people are asking, and the answer is it depends.
Okay.
For shorter distances, say between major cities within a country, or even between neighboring countries, high-speed rail could become a very attractive alternative to flying.
I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah.
No airport security lines, no baggage fees, and you get to enjoy the scenery along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it sounds like a much more relaxing and enjoyable way to travel.
And let's not forget the environmental benefits.
Oh, right.
High-speed rail is significantly more energy efficient than air travel, especially for shorter distances.
Right.
So if we could shift some of that passenger traffic from planes to trains, it can make a real dent in carbon emissions.
So we've got reduced travel times, increased connectivity, potential for international travel, and environmental benefits.
Yeah.
But surely there are also some potential downsides to consider.
Of course, no technology is without its challenges.
Right.
And that's exactly what we'll be diving into next.
Right.
We'll be exploring some of the potential drawbacks of high-speed rail.
Right.
From the economic cost to the social and environmental impacts.
Okay, this is getting really interesting. I'm eager to hear what you have to say about the other side of this high-speed coin.
Okay.
But first, let's give our listener a moment to ponder the incredible possibilities we've just discussed.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a jiffy to explore some of the challenges that come with this transformative technology.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've been talking about all the amazing things that CR450 could bring to the table.
Yeah.
But let's get real for a second. Every innovation comes with its own set of challenges.
For sure.
So what are some of the potential downsides to this high-speed rail revolution?
That's a crucial question, and it's one we can't shy away from.
Yeah.
Let's start with the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Cost.
Yeah.
Building high-speed rail infrastructure is not cheap.
No.
We're talking billions.
Wow.
Even trillions of dollars to create these networks.
Right.
Not every country has the resources to make that kind of investment.
That's a good point. Even if the initial funding is there, maintaining these systems is a huge ongoing expense.
It is.
It's a long-term commitment, and it raises questions about economic viability.
Yeah.
Especially in developing countries.
Right. And even if the infrastructure is there, we have to consider accessibility.
Yeah.
Ticket prices for high-speed rail, while potentially more affordable than air travel,
Right.
could still be out of reach for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to create a system where only the wealthy can benefit from this technology.
Yeah, you're hitting on something really important here. Technological advancements should ideally benefit everyone, not just a select few.
Right.
It's about creating a more equitable and accessible transportation system for all.
For sure.
Are there any other potential drawbacks we should be thinking about?
There are a few.
Okay.
While high-speed rail is generally seen as a greener alternative to air travel, the construction process can be quite disruptive to the environment. Think about like the land clearing the resource extraction, the potential for habitat fragmentation.
That's true. We can't just ignore the environmental impact of building these massive projects.
Yeah.
It's a delicate balance between progress and sustainability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there are the potential social and cultural impacts.
Okay.
High-speed rail can lead to rapid changes in the character of communities and regions.
Right.
Small towns might see a sudden influx of tourists,
Yeah.
while rural areas could face pressure to develop,
Mm-hmm.
potentially leading to displacement or loss of traditional ways of life.
It's a reminder that technology doesn't exist in isolation. It interacts with the social fabric, the environment, the cultural landscape.
Absolutely.
It's up to us to be mindful of those interactions and to guide technological development in a way that benefits society as a whole.
I couldn't agree more. The CR450 is a phenomenal example of human ingenuity.
Yeah.
But it's our responsibility to ensure its implementation is done thoughtfully, ethically, and with the well-being of all communities in mind.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits and the potential pitfalls, but there's one final question I want to leave our listener with.
Okay.
If high-speed rail does indeed take off and revolutionizes the way we travel, what happens to the romance of the journey?
It's a great question to ponder.
Yeah.
Will we lose something in the pursuit of speed and efficiency?
Right.
Will those long, meandering train journeys, the ones where you could get lost in a book, strike up a conversation with a stranger, or simply watch the world go by, become a thing of the past?
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Maybe the true value of travel lies not just in reaching our destination quickly,
Right.
but in embracing the journey itself, regardless of the speed.
Food for thought indeed. And on that note, I think it's time for us to disembark from this particular deep dive.
Agreed. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the impressive technology behind the CR450 to its potential to reshape the way we travel and connect with the world. But we've also highlighted the importance of careful consideration and responsible implementation, acknowledging that progress should never come at the expense of sustainability, equity, or the simple joy of the journey itself. So until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those brainwaves firing.